As of just lately, workplace hazard skill approximately, anybody tell me how many a year do you think they kill each year? Workplace hazards. On everything. It's take a while to get 140,000 each year. That's how many a day? Do the math, 385 workers die each day. Now, you know, we've been really good and we got a good safety culture going, and that's why we do these things. Try to keep it going and keep everyone involved. So this is sometimes we get complacent. That's our biggest thing, getting complacent on the job sites. We've had some injuries as of recent. That could have been very easily preventable. A couple deep cuts to the hands, a couple one eye injury, but still all preventable. If we would just take the time and wear the proper PPE. We have the PPE at hand. Brought out some of the PPE. If there's ever a question, all you guys got to do is call. Everyone should have their phone number and know what to do. We got some really great things. We got some new suits here. Arc suits with the vented fans, 40 cals and under. The 11 cals. Some of you guys, I gave these out a couple of years ago. Still got these two dust traps for silicon dust. You can attach to your drill very easy. Glasses. It's amazing how many times we go on a job site and guys are still not wearing their glasses. Where's Chris? Chris just...
You got two pair now.
Hey, I'll put jokes aside. Chris was wearing his just safety glasses, was doing some cutting and grinding and got a splinter in his eye. Chris, it was pretty painful, am I right?
Yeah.
Pretty painful. Sucks. I've had a splinter in my eye before, and I took off, as a apprentice, took off my safety glasses, and looked up through the hole like a dumbass, you know, and then boom, it dropped right in my eye. And man, talk about painful. I had to go to the emergency room to get it out, just like Chris. We had to take him to the eye doctor and get a splinter pulled out of his eye. Very extremely painful. So there's no reason why we should not be wearing safety glasses. Okay. And gloves. You guys, we have the gloves to prevent hand injuries and cuts and abrasions. You just got to wear them. Okay. Who knows that, you know, how much it would have protected from the cuts, injuries that I put out to everybody out there. It was a lessons learned, but it could have been less deep, worse of a cut. But we have these as well. Just have to use them. So, ear protection, full face mask. You guys are getting in the area where you're breathing a lot of contaminants, and we got the respirators. We'll give you a fit test, and have to be clean shaved though. Some guys that don't want to wear clean shaved, then you can't go in that environment. Okay. Full face shields, we got those as well. First aid kits, we have those. Every job site, every gate box should have a first aid kit on the job site. It's getting to be summer, it's going to get hot. You got sweatshirts. Okay, these things work well as rehydration. Just add it in the water bottle, helps you just like a Gatorade. Okay, real easy to use and have on the jobs. So we're going to go through we're going to have a PowerPoint on Foreman responsibilities and safety. You guys, anybody wants to chime in and add to it, raise your hand, talk, open. Got some participation things to give out, some cool stuff, a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do these slides and we'll go ahead and get started. And then we'll watch a video on PPE and take a little quiz. For OSHA, for us, this count as OSHA. We got to give a little quiz so you guys see the quiz. It's nothing hard. Just got to put your name on it. Put your name on it and date it, please. And then it goes back. So we'll go ahead and start this here. foreman responsibilities and safety. We're looking for you got older journeymen, superintendents, etc., to help out our younger generation, lead them up in the right way. You know, want to stay strong and stay number one, but we need you guys to speak up and help out some of the younger guys that are taking those lead roles. So this is what this is about. The purpose of this foreman training is to educate our supervisors on their additional responsibilities. As frontline managers, you have the single largest influence on our crews, not only productivity, but also safety. It starts with you guys. You guys have to set the example. If they see you not wearing your safety glasses or cutting corners or working on something energized without them, they're going to follow your lead every single time. You guys have to set the example. You guys are leaders. 7 most important skills on effective manager, superintendent, and foreman. Be productivity driven. Foremen have to understand the labor budget and either meet or beat the budget. A foreman needs to know his crew and realistic goals for them. If you're having trouble with the schedule, then you need to call your project manager or your superintendent. Work as a team. Don't try to do everything by yourself. There are people to help. An effective planner, anticipate your needs in advance as much as reasonably possible. Get organized. Get the tools and materials on the job before the project starts. It is best to arrange them as close as possible to the working crew. When you order materials from the supply house or from the shop, make sure you know where they deliver to. You know, if you're working on the 3rd floor, does it make sense to have stuff delivered to the bottom floor? No, have them carry it up, you know. They'll take that stuff, we paid for it, they can deliver to where you need, where your guys are working at. It's that much extra time if our guys have to go out of the way to get the material. They'll do that, that's what they get paid for. Be an effective leader. A good foreman manages a job and leads people. Have people know their jobs. Given the proper explanation, proper resources, positive reinforcement, they will step up and lead. Involve others by soliciting ideas. Be open for other approaches. You know, they might have a good idea on how to do something, but we have to listen. A top-notch foreman knows how to, an accessible and visible foreman goes a long way in improving team involvement. A top-notch foreman knows how to hold people accountable. If they're not going to do their jobs after you've worked with them and coached them, then let them know what the consequences are. Tell them if they continue on a negative path, they'll probably lose their placement or their position. Be an effective communicator. Make sure you are very clear on the specifics on what you expect. Have your crew repeat what you instruct to them. Have them repeat it back. Tell them, give them a task at hand. All right, hear it back so you know that they understand. Have them repeat that back. Mostly listen to what they are telling you without interpretation and hear out their ideas. Maintain a safe work environment. We want people going home the same way they showed up in the morning. Make sure they know what the safety rules and policies are. If not, explain them to your crew. Some guys may not know. Now we have the safety app. Ryan Powers has been doing a great job getting guys enrolled on that, but all of that's on touch right at our hand, at the disposal of our hands. Not only on our phone, but on our tablets and our laptops. And if that's still not enough, then give me a call. I'll get you I have the policies, I can send them out. But we're getting better and better at that. Your internal customers are your product manager, superintendent, your crew, and other trades on the job. Make sure you treat them with respect. Your external customers are the general contractor, architects, and the owner. Be clear on their needs as well. Treat people by building positive relationships and being solution-oriented. If you see a problem, recommend ways to fix it. If you can help a GC look good, then help them. Establish a win-win relationship by giving people what they want first. Before you ask of anything, you are there to impress customers, not just to satisfy them. Go the extra mile. The more we give, they'll give right back. They'll give us the win. Good relationship with them, they'll give us jobs back. Do the math. One foreman supervisor for every 6 employees. There's one safety person for every 63 employees. Or in my case, there's one. 50% of the workforce are foremen and above. 1.5% of the workforce are safety people. What I'm getting at here is that I can't do it by myself. I need you guys to help out. You know, you guys are branches of our safety policy. Any foreman is a branch of our safety policy. Know the policies. If you have any question, you have to ask. Can our safety committee, can you guys raise your hand? Anyone on the safety committee? These are leaders in our safety committee. These people know what the safety rules are, as everyone else should. So if you could ask these guys as well. They're well versed in all our safety policies. Foreman responsibilities. All work is to be completed in a safe manner. Provide equipment and tools in good repair. Weekly job site inspections. Do audits. New hire orientations. Prompt accident reporting. Complete effective JSAs. Set a good example and role model. Be a good role model. Be held accountable for actions of your crew members. They're under your direction. Be sure to track any subcontractor work as well. Pre-plan the work. JSAs started in 1931. Seems like we've been doing them a really long time, but they started way back. 1931. Comparable terms included JHA, some of you guys may have heard that, STA, PJB, FD, SP. That's where that term, Brian, you ever heard of that? Never heard of that before, but some people call them different things. We have developed a master JSA to assist you with this process. We have the JSAs on the safety app. Who here has been doing the JSAs on the mobile phones? Some of you guys? No? Not too many. Okay, but hey, we're going to get that rolled out and be doing that soon enough. Ensure proper equipment and selection for the task. Make sure you guys have the proper tools to do your job. And PPE. This was, I crossed out the names here, but this is pretty good JSA. Some of you guys, it's kind of hard to see there. But don't pencil whip these. Go through them. Take the time to do them right. You may be, you may save a problem from occurring or a hazard. So take your time. List the job task here up on the top. Pick out the job task and what you're going to do to overcome those hazards. Ensure work is done in a safe manner. Life-threatening operations, energized work. Working at heights, confined space. Trenching, excavating. Caught in between and struck by. PPE selection, other safety issues are the proper PPE selection and emergency action plans. When we're in a really difficult task or maybe working a shutdown, we have to have an emergency plan. You know, what am I going to do? What if? Always think of that what if. Maybe you're working on a lift 80 feet in the air. What are you going to do if that lift stops working? Who's going to save you? Are you working by yourself? Does someone know where you're at? Have a plan. Think about the emergency action plan. Have that written down on your GSA. I can help you develop an emergency action plan if needed. Energize work. The priority is to de-energize. If an injury occurs while working energized, we must be able to defend why it was worked on energized. Lockout tagout procedures must always be followed, including testing. Energized work over 50 volts requires an energized work permit. A lot of us are not filling out those energized work permits, and we should be doing so. You must ensure all employees have gone through the NFPA 7E. All the apprentices have. They've done that through the JATC. Some of us older journeymen have probably been through it, but haven't been through it recently. If you're working on energized work, understand the hazard. What can be involved? If we're working on a piece of gear, okay, I'm going to do the testing. I'm going to put my suit on. There's lots of gear that 40 cal suit, that's going to protect you up to what? 40 calories, right? Some of that switch gear down where Josh Worley works is rated at, what's the rate?
Up to 100.
100. That suit ain't going to do shit. You cannot work on that suit and work with a calorie rating of 100 calories. That ain't going to do nothing. So you have to de-energize that. You must ensure all employees have gone through the NFPA 70 course. I said that already. NFPA 70 chart must be adhered to. All rubber gloves and line tools must have current inspections. Get your gloves in. We send them out every 6 months. If you need new gloves, I've got stocking gloves. All our test equipment, high voltage equipment has been tested and calibrated. Justin, am I right? You guys just received some of that equipment back?
Yep.
You guys do a really good job of getting that stuff out there and tested and back. But we have to. Your lives depend on it. So if your lives depends on it, make sure your stuff is up to date. Like I said, it's hard to keep track of everything, so do your part, be a part of it. This next slide is fall protection, working at heights. 100% of fall protection required at 6 foot. Any construction site, if we're inside of Caterpillar, it's 4 foot. This includes ladders, scaffold, aerial lifts, poles and towers. Not too often we're called getting up a pole or tower, but we do go up light poles at football fields. Sometimes we do have to climb those ladders, so we got to make sure that we have the correct harness on and the lanyard attachment. All anchor points must support 5,000 pounds. Each anchor point is only rated for one person only, unless it's a dual anchor, which would be then rated at 10,000 pounds. Fall protection equipment must be inspected prior to each use. Very important that we inspect it. Your life may depend on it, and starting from the D-ring and working your way down. We do have that inspection letter that's in our safety documentation. Moving on to the next slide. Confined space entry. Many deaths have occurred in confined space, and this is a serious issue that we must take caution and take the right steps to do confined space work. This includes manholes, vaults, pits, ductwork, etc. Must be treated as permanent required until air monitoring proves otherwise. Everyone must be trained. That's a group of 3 people. You got your entrant, your attendant, and your supervisor. Entrant means he's entering the confined space, usually in a vault or a hole that we're either pulling cable through or we're doing a splice, etc. The attendant is the one above the hole who's doing the air monitoring. It's very important that we monitor the air quality before we go in the hole. Sampling the air for 3 to 5 minutes before anyone is entering the hole. Our gas monitors is a 4-gas monitor meter, which will measure all the gases. This must be recorded before, during, and during the entry. Anytime we come out of the hole, take a break, go to lunch, we must retest the hole. Very important before entering the confined space.
Rescue plan must be in place, and that is a entry rescue. We are only allowed, we are only trained once we go through the training that we have for Oberlander to do non-entry rescue. Non-entry rescue, what's that mean? That you only can be rescued by the winch, which is located on the tripod. Each person, if there's more than one person in the confined space, each person has to have their own winch and be attached to. You can still use the same tripod, but they have to have their own winch if there is an emergency. If for some reason someone goes down and we're not able to pull them out of the hole, we have to make sure that our rescue plan includes safety personnel who are trained for entry rescue. The only people in the Peoria vicinity that are trained are Peoria Fire Department and Pekin Fire Department. They go down to Springfield each year to get this training, and it's annually. That means once a year. Some facilities like Caterpillar have staff on hand that are trained annually to do an entry rescue. So we have to make sure that if we're going into a confined space, that we give them notice a few days before, say, hey, this is Ray Schulte, we are trained in confined space entry, and we have the proper PPE and equipment. We are only trained in non-entry rescue. We want to put you on alert that we are going into a confined space. They'll acknowledge and put you on their list, and knowing that you're in the confined space. Many deaths have happened in confined space. Plumbers have gone in wells before and without any protection or monitoring and have died. We have people down at Pekin ethanol plant that have also gone inside tanks. Being empty doesn't mean that they're safe and without any hazardous gases. So very, very dangerous. Have to take the precautions. The next, trenching and excavating. No one permitted in the trench excavation over 5 feet without a protective system, shoring, sloping, or trench box. So we gotta make sure that when we're going into a trench that is, depending on the soil, that is properly sloped, benched, and if it's not, and if we're in a tight area, like maybe working on the road downtown Peoria, something happens and we gotta dig up. Usually that's when we'll use a trench box. But any other time, we got to make sure that proper shoring and sloping is done on the trench itself, so that there is no case of that trench falling in and collapsing and suffocating any workers inside the trench. Also, all soil must be classified as a type C unless the soil classification done by a competent person that proves otherwise. Must be sloped a 1.5 to 1 ratio, 34 degrees. Air monitors must be done in trenches over 4 foot. Why would that be? At times, depending on where we're at, older facilities and environments that we're working at can be 100, 125 years old, depending where we're working. Keystone's been around for 100 years. Caterpillar's been around for 100 years. Same property. They buried a lot of chemicals back in the day. Been at Keystone before in the past and digging up, putting in some conduit in the trenches, digging up the ground. We unearthed some very toxic chemicals that were very evident in the smell. If that is the case, if we're deeper than 4 foot, put the air monitor and monitor that gas. Everyone has to take this seriously because, you know, you can damage your lungs, especially if there's ammonia in the ground. You don't know what you're getting into, so take it seriously. We have the equipment. Get it out there, use it. That's why we buy it. Ladders must be in trenches over 4 foot and within 25 foot of workers in the trench. If you got a 50-foot trench, that means we need two ladders extending out of the trench. Workers must stay within confines of the trench box. Don't get out of the trench box if you're working until you are done with the job. Utility locate must be performed before digging, Julie that is. And it doesn't matter if we're installing a light post to put it in 4-inch rigid conduit in a ditch, we have to call Julie state law. You do not know what is in the ground. We hit gas lines, phone lines, even though we didn't want to, we've hit them. And it can be very hazardous, especially if there's a medium voltage line that is buried. So Julie, call Julie, simple process, 811. Complete the JSA prior to entering any trench. And complete JSAs at every other task. You know, we're required to fill out JSAs twice a week, and depending on the complexity of the task, we may have to do more. But if you got the same task, you're doing the same task for a week, 1 JSA, fine, same thing. But if it's your task changed, you know, then you need to do an additional JSA. That eliminates the potential hazards for yourself or for your crew members. Important to do that. Let's try to engineer out any hazards before they occur. PPE is the last line of defense. Proper use of tools and equipment. Hey, we gotta do the job right and do it with the right tools. Tools must have handles and guards in place. They'll be cutting and grinding with a grinder or any sort of that's going to create that type of hazard. Cords must have a ground, prongs intact. What's wrong with this tool here? Is this the correct tool for the job? No, it's not. It does not have the guard in place. And no positive locking triggers. What's that mean? That means that tool is going to stay on. A grinder is extremely dangerous if it's with a positive locking trigger. You accidentally set that down or it gets away from you. It can, they'll cut through anything, including your skin. One of the most easiest things. If you see an employee using this, what would you say? Hey, where's your guards? You know, let's use a better tool, better way. What would you do? Look out for others. That's the main thing. Sometimes we can get complacent and just not think. So let's take care of our brothers and sisters watching. Frequent job site inspections. Walk the job daily and look for hazards. Correct hazards as you see them and document. We want to engineer out any hazards if all possible. PPE, you have to remember, is the last line of defense. Not the top, it's the bottom tier. Okay? Coach employees on safe way to work. Submit your safety audits by using the safety app or safety, we have the paper type as well. Both important. The safety audits, all that says is if your job site is safe and compliant for your employees and crew members. Supervisors audits, we want one per visit. Each time you're going, we would like an audit done. New hire orientations are extremely important. That anytime we get a new employee that is hired onto Oberlander, does not understand our process of safety, and safety is first priority, you have to let them know and go through this orientation process. I can do it myself. If you have a new employee, I can do it here in the shop. Or if you're working far out and you're coming for whatever reason, right to the job site, you need to do this and go over each aspect of the new hire orientation. For the most part, safety department will onboard new employees. In the case they're unavailable, make sure to do the following: complete payroll paperwork with the employee, review the safety orientation with the employee, play the new hire video. It's right on YouTube. NECA safety orientation, and have the employee sign the orientation sheet. And whoever is giving the orientation, have them sign as well. Give the new employees their PPE and instruct them how to use their PPE, how to properly, how to put on a harness, how to wear safety glasses, when should I wear gloves, cut-resistant gloves, etc. This paperwork can be very easily forwarded over email, or we have packets here at the shop which can be brought out to your job site. Accident reporting: all work-related incidents must be reported to the safety department immediately. Injury, illness, near miss, property damage, and vehicle accidents. First and foremost, we want to take care of whoever is injured on the job. Most important, let's get them the proper care, either by admitting first aid on the job site or taking them to the closest medical facility. Usually, we can get, for 90% of the time, get this accomplished by the prompt cares that are near our locations. And these locations will be in your safety folder at each job site, and directions on how to get there. If you have to go to the emergency room, you go to the emergency room. Emergency rooms do take very, very long time. So if we could get the care quicker to the employee, the better. But if someone's had a stroke or heart attack, that's another story. But for cuts and bruises, stitches, usually you could get that taken care of either at the job site or at the prompt care. Take pictures of what's happened and fill out all the required paperwork. We have an accident investigation form that needs to be filled out. Supervisor's accident report, witness statements, and employee accident statement.
After-fact reporting hinders ability to properly manage a case and result in disciplinary action. OSHA reportables, prescription medications, stitches, eye injuries, work restrictions, physical therapy, significant aggravation on pre-existing injury. Non-reportable over-the-counter medications, Band-Aids, sterile strip, flushing the eye with water, x-rays, MRIs, because you're just seeing what it is, tendonitis, and symptoms arising at work, maybe a pre-existing injury. That's a non-reportable. Motor vehicle policy, we got to do better on this. A lot of call-ins. Hey, Ray, got to talk to this lady. She wants to. Why do I got to be? Because I'm the safety guy. So I got to talk to her. You know, hey, I saw your guy flying down the road. He was 30 miles an hour, and he's going 45. It's posted. You know, I hear it all the time. Let's be better. We do not have to be at that place as soon as possible. If you got to go to the bathroom, pull over, go to the bathroom. Okay? But we should not be speeding and rushing and causing any kind of incidents. You guys represent, whenever we're driving a vehicle that has an Oberlander name on it, you represent Oberlander. We don't drive hazardly. Okay? We respect others on the road. Don't be a distracted driver. Don't be texting. That text can wait till you get to your stop. Don't be an aggressive driver. No matter how bad that person pisses you off, cuts you off, it's got to wait. Say, okay, thank you. Okay? You represent Oberlander. okay? Maybe they just didn't see you. I've accidentally cut people off and didn't know that either, you know? Don't be using cell phone vehicles. Seatbelts must be worn. Reverse park whenever feasible. Poor behavior result in disciplinary action. Disciplinary policy, aggressive discipline, employee disciplinary system that provides graduated range of responses to an employee's performance or conduct problems. We have the three strike policy. First, we're going to give you a verbal. Second is a written warning. The third is a disciplinary action, probably unpaid time off. Okay, immediate discipline. Motor vehicle incidents will be handled separately. Immediate discipline for the following: lockout, tagout, that's immediate. Fall protection, getting on the roof without any harnesses, fall protection, we should know better. Entering unprotected trench, getting in a confined space without any permits, yeah, that's a no-no. Too many hazards there. And sexual harassment, all zero tolerance on these. All foremen will be held accountable for the actions of the crews. All you guys should know. The principles of human performance, people are human. Even the best of us make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I'm not perfect. Everyone knows I've done some stupid shit, you know. But you get older, you get wiser, you learn. And I'm trying to tell you, don't do what I do, right? Or what I did, you know. We're getting better. This company is so much better than years ago. You know, we used to tap 480 bus hot, drill and tap. You know, that was part of the thing. That's how we did it back then. You know, just put some cardboard down, you'll be all right. You know, that's what we did. You know, but we've learned. We've watched those R-Flash videos. Holy shit! Yeah, things can happen and immediately take your life. Unfortunately, we've had a few blow-ups on our jobs where people have gone who have been injured, haven't locked it out, or maybe not properly tested it, and had to go down to Springfield to get some scrubbing. Not a fun situation. People are human, they make mistakes. Fear-like situations are predictable and manageable and preventable. Individual behavior is influenced by organizational process and values. We're trying to create a better safety culture. You guys are the leaders of this safety culture. Let's be ahead of everybody. Let's care for one another and watch out for one another. People achieve high levels of performance because of encouragement, enforcement received from the leaders, peers, and subordinates. Events can be avoided through an understanding of mistakes that occur. Application of lessons learned from the past events can help us not repeat mistakes. That's why don't be afraid to turn in something a near miss. It's only going to help us do better. I will give you points towards safety if you turn in a near miss. I'm not looking for any tattletales. Don't have to put any names on it. Just tell me, hey, this almost happened. Human behavior. Humans are attracted to negative behavior. If it's 55, we're probably going 65, right? 10 over. We push the envelope. Texting and driving, oh shit, oh, my wife's texting me, my girlfriend's texting me, I gotta get back to her right now. She's gonna be mad, right? No, just don't do it. There's been too many bad things that happen. It's just saying, if you're caught texting and driving and have an accident, and it is a severe accident, it's criminal punishment just like drunk driving. Just like drunk driving, it's bad. Human behavior, top 10 precursors. Time, pressure, distraction, interruption, multiple tasks, overconfidence, complacency. Being complacent is the biggest thing. Too confident. I've done this a million times. First shift, we're getting tired. You know, working that 24-hour around the clock, that is very dangerous. make sure that we're scheduling people on at the most 12-hour shifts. Peer pressure, hey, don't be a pussy. Excuse me, sorry. Don't do it. You know, what are you afraid of? You know, I did it. You know, always did it that way. Physical environment. This is a nasty place. I want to get the hell out of here, do it as fast as possible, get out of here. Okay? Sometimes those could be the most dangerous places with the physical hazards, physical environment around us. You know, Keystone can be a nasty, dangerous place. There's a lot of other places like that as well that we do work at. And mental stress. If you're having a bad day, you know, tell your foreman or look for that in your crew. If you see that somebody's off, look for that. You can tell something's going to happen, and it's not going to be good if someone's not all together there. Human behavior preparation. How do you, as a supervisor, influences planning? Identify scope of work, associated hazards, and what is to be avoided, including critical steps, job site reviews, and walkdowns. Identifying potential job site challenges to airfree performances. Task assignment, choose the right people to do the job. Don't put the old guy on the hardest job, or don't put the youngest guy on a very complex job, you know? Choose how, you know, what they're rated for, right? Know how they can perform. Right people for the right task. And identify the scope of work, including critical steps associated with hazards, and what has to be avoided by anticipating possible effective errors and consequences. Reporting, conveying information on the quality of work preparation, related resources, and work conditions to supervisors and managers. Behavior observations, workers receiving coaching and reinforcement on the performance in the field through observations by managers and supervisors. Do the compliment sandwich if you have to. If you see someone not quite doing something right, hey, I like what you're doing here, but maybe let's think about going this way, doing it this way. But I love your energy, you know. Do the compliment sandwich. No different than coaching. You guys are coaches as well. Do not skip critical steps. Any action that maybe you could try to save time. We're going to skip that step. Any action that will trigger immediate and irreversible harm at that step or preceding actions are performed improperly or omitted. You may see this room. We don't want that. It's an operating room. Sequential checklists and barriers, defenses to minimize errors that will prevent events. Train qualified workers assigned to tasks. Personnel are fit for duty. Make sure your crew, if anybody looks like they're hungover or you know, ask them, are you ready to go? Are you feeling okay? Critical steps, make sure we're doing our JSAs, are known and discussed. Everyone's a part of it. Pre-job brief is conducted. Roles and responsibilities are understood for each person. Peer check assigned a person, attendant, and qualified observer. Make sure the older guys are watching over these guys. Supervisor, leader, field visits, observation for coaching. Communication would be used. Repeats, backs, that means have them be in communication, repeat what you told them and how to do it, how to perform it. Hey, we're going to do it this way. Hey, how are we going to do it? We're going to do it this way. Confirm during critical steps. Critical, very important. Workers wear PPE to protect themselves from anticipated hazards, recognized hazards. Everyone is willing to exhibit questioning attitude. Everyone has the ability for a stop. Anyone, if there's something wrong on the job, everyone has the right to stop the job. If someone's going to get injured, every single person on that job has the right to stop that job. Employees are willing to report honest mistakes because we can learn from them. Be fair and consistent when it comes to disciplinary action for safety and health violations. Summary. Right. Supervisors have many responsibilities. Be sure to take advantage of your support group. Safety can assist with JSA's site-specific safety plans, safety orientation, training, etc., to make sure you have all the tools necessary to complete your job on time, on budget, and safely. The function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not followers. All right. That's the end of that. If you guys would, let's go through this here real quick. Any questions? And then we'll both answer these and then we'll have our drawing. Let's start with the young guy. Number 1. What's your name? Connor. All right, Connor. Yeah, read it out loud.
Class C hard hats offer.
Yeah, no, just pick the right answer.
C impact protection and no protection.
Right, that's only a Class E. 2?
The shell of the hard hat can be damaged by the bug.
Yeah, we never want to drill ventilation holes. It's too long thing to do. Cleaning with solutions, all the work. 3? True or false?
You should not wear hard hats in most workplaces as air contaminants can cause the contact used to your eyeball. True.
That's false. Yeah, that's false. Yeah, so that's an untrue statement. It will not be true. Best way to clean safety glasses is 70. Hey, flush with water, wipe with, and wipe with clean. Number 5. Cody, what should we do with 5?
Noise induced hearing loss.
Yeah, A. Yeah, D, all of the above. Irreversible cannot be repaired with surgery or drugs, has negative effect on interpersonal communication. All right, 6. Who's got number 6, Mark?
No was C.
Yeah, cover the ears completely to block out noise. 7. Eric?
Air purifying respirators, A and B.
A and C provide no protection against oxygen deficiency and remove air contamination from the air. Number 8. Zach, what do you get for number 8?
Good glove selection for handling dry powders is any chemical resistant glove.
That's correct. 9.
Add-on protection for foot safety.
All above. Boot, ankle protection, tarsal, strap-on cleats. All right, Thomas, what do you get for 10?
B, if you get the work day.
The best time to buy protective gear is at the end of the day. That's the end of the day. Best time. You guys will put your names on those. I'll take those. Any questions? Kept you a little bit longer than anticipated.
Hey guys, one other thing. Like, no kidding, Ray and I are in our 50s. We were day ones as electricians. Very first job we got to go on. I wish the hell we would have learned, the dumbest things like sunscreen, because now we get to get shit cut off our ears at 50 years old, and hearing protection, and like, no shit. You're like, wow, I could have just wore the little, earplugs and not feel like I'm deaf half the time. I mean, you young guys, like, it starts now. It happens, quick. Local 34 is at a pretty cool opportunity right now. You guys all are going to get to participate because we're taking giant apprenticeship classes. We are going to get to mold the next generation, the guys that are going to pay for our retirement in the past 3 years, the next 5 years going forward. There's so much work. We're going to keep taking big classes. You should be proud. We're gonna carry on the local 34. We're the best in the industry. Everybody around the country wants our electricians because they are so good, so well trained. That's on you guys' back. You know, take some pride in it. Teach them. I know it's tough. They don't know anything. You didn't know anything. Let's bring them up. Let's train them up. You know, that's what the baby boomers did for us. I feel like we had the best generation because they taught us. Let's not hold them back. Let's teach them. You know, we need to rotate them. I know everybody likes this guy or that guy, but don't hold them back. Sometimes they need to go and be moved and take the new first-year apprentice who, again, you're going to trade up a third year. It's like fantasy football. You know, you're trading a guy you just trained up for a newbie who doesn't know anything. But that'll pay dividends someday when we're older and we need those guys to carry our tools, right? So train them up. That's all I ask. Thanks.
Like,